Welcome, dear listener, to another heart-stealing tale from Swoon Stories. Today, we venture into a snowstorm and into a woman's frozen heart, thawed by a truth she never saw coming. Have you ever loved someone and hated them at the same time? Can you forgive the one person you swore you'd never face again? Make yourself cozy, because this story will stir your soul and warm your heart through every twist and tear. May this tale remind you: love, though buried under storms, of betrayal always finds a way to rise. Are you ready to fall and heal? The wind howled like a pack of wolves tearing through the Montana pines. Snow thrashed the windshield of Ivy Morgan's rusted Jeep as she turned into the one-lane road that led to the old family cabin. Uncharted, buried in time, and supposedly forgotten. She hadn't been there in over a decade. Not since the night Noah Blake vanished. Not since everything collapsed. I shouldn't have come back, Ivy thought, tightening her grip on the wheel. But a blizzard was swallowing the road behind her. Cell signal had dropped miles ago. She was trapped, and the cabin was the only shelter. For 50 miles. She didn't expect it to still smell like pine and smoke and him. She pushed open the creaky wooden door. The wind slammed it behind her. Inside, it was freezing. Dust clung to every surface like memories that refused to die. The old wood stove still stood in the center. She grabbed the lighter from her coat and crouched near the dry kindling. Click, click, boom. Firelight licked up the chimney. Shadows danced across the log walls. Ivy exhaled, her breath visible in the air. Then, footsteps. Behind her, a thud. A door closing. She spun around. There, standing in the doorway, frost melting off his shoulders like forgotten sorrow, was Noah Blake. "You?" she hissed, rising to her feet. Noah's jaw tightened, his army parka dripping onto the cabin floor. "You're not supposed to be here." Her heart raced. God, he looked different. Broader, sterner, his jaw dusted with frost and beard. But those eyes, still the same stormy blue that haunted her. "I had the key," she shot back. "Didn't know I needed permission to freeze to death." He said nothing, just removed his gloves with slow, deliberate movements, revealing a faded scar across one palm. She remembered it. "You shouldn't have come," he repeated, voice low. "And you shouldn't have left." Silence pulsed like thunder. They agreed reluctantly to share the space for the night. She claimed the bed. He took the armchair, each wrapped in layers of silence, guarded by unsaid words. "I hate him," Ivy told herself. But hate didn't explain the way her heart betrayed her every time he moved, every time she caught his profile in the firelight. He ruined everything. That night, as the fire crackled and the wind howled louder, she tossed in the blanket and cursed the memories clawing back. A snowstorm had brought them together once before, 12 years ago. A wedding weekend. Her wedding. To Noah's best friend. A marriage. That never happened. Because Noah vanished the night before, leaving only a note. "I'm sorry, Ivy. I had to protect you from the truth." She never forgave him. He abandoned her, took the truth with him, and broke her heart without a word. Now, lying across the room from him, she whispered into the darkness, "Why did you really leave?" She didn't expect him to answer, but his voice came, raw, like gravel under snow. "Because if I stayed, you'd hate me more than you already do." Noah sank into the armchair, the flickering firelight haloing his silhouette. Ivy hovered near the tiny metal box, heart pounding like a wild drum. She carefully withdrew the topmost envelope, parchment, edged in gold, her name penned in Noah's familiar slanted script. What secrets did he bury here? She wondered. She settled beside him on the cold wooden floor, breaking the seal. Inside, the first letter began. Ivy, if you are reading this, then I'm not by your side. Yet. I hoped to spare you from pain, but hiding only built more walls between us. I need you to know my reasons before the truth destroys you. His words trembled with apology and longing, Ivy thought, her pulse racing. As the snowstorm raged outside, Ivy read letter after letter. Each revealed a layer she'd never considered. His hidden kindness. He'd been the anonymous benefactor who funded the orphanage she volunteered at after college. He watched her heal broken children, hoping she'd heal too. His sacrifice. He stole the inheritance she'd believed was hers, only to protect her from Vanessa's dangerous schemes. His confession. He loved her before she ever noticed. He left because he feared his tortured past would poison her future. Tears pricked her eyes, the portrait she'd painted of him. Cruel, heartless, the brother she hated, crumbled before her. I misjudged him, she whispered. Noah reached out, brushing a snowflake from her hair. You don't have to forgive me, he murmured. I only ask you to understand. Ivy looked up, fury and relief warring in her gaze. Why didn't you send these? Why hide so long? She demanded. He closed his eyes, voice breaking. I tried. But every letter Vanessa intercepted. She threatened my life. And yours. As the candle guttered, they pieced together a story more twisted than either had imagined. Vanessa, their half-sister, had discovered Noah's intentions months before Ivy's engagement. Jealous of Ivy's place in the family, she forged documents accusing Noah of embezzling their father's company funds, proof that would ruin his reputation and leave Ivy alone and vulnerable. Vanessa's betrayal cut deeper than the cold. Ivy realized. Anger flared in her chest. I'm going to stop her, she vowed, rising to her feet. Noah reached for her hand. Not yet. We have to survive this storm first. They worked together to reinforce the cabin's roof, sealing cracks where icy wind seeped in. Each shared laugh, each mutual glance, healed an invisible fracture in their bond. Is this what forgiveness feels like? Ivy thought, as Noah gently brushed snow from her boots. But peace was short-lived. Late that night, a hollow knock rattled the door. Ivy's heart froze. Who could dare approach in this blizzard? Noah tightened his grip on the iron. Poker. Stay behind me. She nodded, breath shallow. Noah cracked the door just enough to peek out. A figure in a heavy parka stumbled inside, a folded piece of paper in gloved hands. Found this taped to the back door, she said, voice trembling. The visitor, a fellow traveler, handed Noah a letter. He glanced at it, eyes widening. It's from Vanessa, he said. She knows we have the letters. Ivy snatched it, ripping it open. Inside lay a single photograph, the two of them in happier times, smiling beneath spring blossoms. But someone carrying a knife, loomed in the background, face hidden. A chill colder than any wind gripped Ivy's spine. The knife was the same make as the one stolen from their father's study. Vanessa was escalating. Villain's doubt. The next morning, storm silenced except for an occasional crack as branches bowed beneath snow, Ivy discovered her phone signal returned. One missed call from home, and several frantic texts from her best friend. Ivy. Dad confronted Noah in his office today. Accused him of forging your signature on the inheritance papers. He's devastated. Says he'll never forgive Noah. Her breath caught. If their father believed the lies, he'd turn against Noah, against her family, just as Vanessa intended. Ivy clutched the letters to her chest, heart pounding. She looked at Noah, whose shoulders sagged with worry. This is Vanessa's doing, she said in a steely whisper. She's tearing us apart. Noah nodded. We have to prove my innocence, and fast. They devised a plan. Brace out the storm, then sneak back into town to confront Vanessa together. As they packed a small bag with essentials, Ivy paused, before the trapdoor where she'd found the letters. One last look before we go. She knelt, retrieved the bottom letter, and read the single sentence scrawled inside. Meet me where our love began. Her fingers trembled. Where did love begin? Memories of a hidden spring house, an abandoned sheep's pasture behind the cabin sprang to mind. Noah watched her, brow furrowed. What did it say? He asked. Ivy swallowed hard. We meet at the spring house. Midnight. The wind had settled into an eerie silence, broken only by the crunch of their boots in the deep snow. Ivy's heart thundered as she and Noah crept toward the old spring house, each breath a ghostly wisp in the moonlight. Stay close, she thought, gripping his arm. She could be anywhere. They slipped inside the spring house's frosted windows, breath hitching at the sight within. Vanessa standing over a makeshift table, the knife laid out beside an open journal. Noah's handwriting scrawled across the pages, her lips curved. Welcome home. Noah stepped forward. It ends tonight, Vanessa chuckled, lifting the knife. Oh, it's just beginning. Vanessa lunged, but instead of attacking Noah, she shoved Ivy to the ground. The blade glinted as she threatened. Admit you framed me, Ivy, or she dies. Her eyes glittered with malice. Ivy's heart froze. I would never. Vanessa's grip tightened. Your father believes the lies. You're alone, forever. Noah lunged to protect her. A struggle ensued, metal clashing against metal. Snow drifted in the broken window, settling on Vanessa's hair like a crown of defeat, until she yanked the journal free and sprinted out into the storm. Noah and Ivy exchanged pained looks. We have to save her, he whispered, but Ivy shook her head. They raced after Vanessa into the forest, branches clawing at their coats. Every step deeper into the white void felt like losing a piece of themselves. Suddenly, a thunderous crack echoed, the spring house roof collapsing. Noah shielded Ivy with his body as splinters rained down. He's hurt, Ivy realized, panic flaring. They found Vanessa 20 yards away, frozen in shock. The knife slipped from her hand. Behind her, the roof lay crushed on the snow. Noah groaned, clutching his side. Blood seeped through his coat. Ivy dropped to her knees. Noah! He tried to stand, but pain seized him. I can't lose him, Ivy thought, tears freezing on her lashes. They were miles from help. Ivy knew the only way to get rescue was to leave him. I'll come back for you, she vowed, pressing her scarf to his wound. Noah seized her hand. Don't go. His voice trembled. I have to, Ivy thought, locking eyes with him. Stay with me, she pleaded. He shook his head, lips pale. I need you to live. With that, Ivy abandoned her coat and sprinted toward the distant lights of the ranger station, each step tearing at her heart. The storm intensified as she ran. Snow blinded her vision. Her legs burned. Every heartbeat pounded. Will he survive? She burst into the ranger station, breath ragged. 2 park rangers looked up in alarm. My friend, he's hurt. Cabin, need help now. They grabbed gear. Ivy led them back through the storm, blood at each footstep marking her path. They reached the spring house to find a broken window, and no sign of Noah. Where is he? Ivy's mind raced. The rangers whistled for him, scanning the woods. Then one called out, "Over here!" They found him beneath a fallen beam, unconscious, lips blue, blood pooling on the snow. The rifle of rescue gear crackled as they radioed for a helicopter. As they lifted him onto a stretcher, Ivy's legs buckled. Exhaustion and relief crashed into her. She collapsed beside him, sobbing. The park ranger knelt. He's alive, but unstable. You need to get warm. He offered his coat. Ivy wrapped it around herself, refusing to leave Noah's side. He promised to come back for me, she whispered into the wind-chilled night. The helicopter's rotor wash nearly lifted her hair as it descended. The rescuers loaded, Noah first. Ivy tried to climb aboard, but the ranger blocked her gently. We can't risk another life, he said. Wake up, you'll be fine. Ivy's eyes burned with fear. No, I can't leave him. They restrained her as the helicopter lifted. She lodged her hand through the open door, reaching for him. Noah's fingers twitched. As the helicopter soared above the storm, Ivy noticed movement in the snow below, Vanessa dragging herself toward the spring house, blood on her coat. She was alive. And free. She'll tell the world a different story, Ivy realized with horror. Noah lay still beneath layers of blankets, monitors beeping and rhythmic lullabies. Ivy sat beside him, clutching his calloused hand, eyes hollow with sleepless worry. The sterile scent of antiseptic mingled with the faint pine aroma she'd brought in a sprig of evergreen. Please wake up, she thought, pressing her forehead against his palm. I need you here. A soft shuffling in the hallway. Ivy looked up to see Detective Reyes enter, evidence folder in hand. His expression was solemn, yet hopeful. Ms. Morgan, he said quietly. We've apprehended Vanessa. Ivy's breath caught. Where is she? She collapsed near the spring house, the detective continued, bleeding from self-inflicted wounds. She confessed to everything, forging documents, blackmail, the attack. Even admitted she hid Noah's letters. Ivy closed her eyes, tears of relief and rage mingling. Thank you. Moments later, Vanessa was escorted past the glass partition in cuffs. Her once majestic hair was tangled, her face pale. Her eyes flickered on Ivy, an apology unspoken. That sister I once loved, Ivy mused, lost to her own darkness. A forensic report lay on a rolling cart. Vanessa's forgeries, the timeline of intercepted letters, financial records redirecting, funds back to the orphanage. Noah's secret charity work finally vindicated. Ivy ran a trembling finger over the printed ledger showing her father's signature had been manipulated. Her heart twisted at the memory of her father's hurt. Sorry, Dad, she whispered. We'll make this right. The next morning, sunlight poured through the hospital window like a blessing. Ivy sat alone, notebook in hand, when the doctor appeared. Ms. Morgan, he said gently. Noah's vital signs are stable. Neurologically, he's improving. He may awaken soon. Ivy's chest tightened. How soon? He smiled. Could be hours. Could be days. He's fighting. Ivy nodded, determination blazing in her eyes. Then I won't leave his side. Late that afternoon, Ivy replayed their journey in her mind. The snowstorm, the buried letters, Vanessa's betrayal, Noah's sacrifice. She realized that every moment of pain had led to this fragile hope. Love isn't perfect, she thought, but it's worth every risk. She decided to forgive her father and make amends. Ivy sent a letter home. Father, I know you were hurt by lies, but the truth is coming. I ask for your forgiveness, for doubting Noah, for mistrusting our bond. He saved my life, and mine saved his. When he wakes, I want him to know he has your blessing. Ivy, as dusk fell, the doctor returned. Get ready, he said. He's starting to awaken. Ivy straightened the blankets. She whispered, I'm here, Noah. I've never stopped believing in you. Noah's eyelids fluttered, his gaze focused on Ivy. A single tear rolled down his cheek as he squeezed her hand. Ivy, he croaked. She leaned forward, voice soft. I'm here, love. He tried to smile, and she caught him gently around the chin, lifting his head. "You survived," she whispered, tears of joy sparkling. "You came back to me." Noah's lips curved. "Because you never gave up." Days later, fully recovered, Noah and Ivy returned to the cabin. The first spring thaw was budding around them. He carried an ornate wooden box, the very one that hid his letters. They climbed inside the warm cottage. Ivy set the box on the table. Noah knelt before her, pulling a small velvet pouch from his coat. He opened it to reveal a simple silver ring, engraved, "Always find you." "Ivy Morgan," he said, voice trembling. "Will you marry me?" Tears of joy spilled as Ivy nodded, unable to speak. She fell into his arms, whispering, "Yes, yes, 1,000 times." They embraced, the wind outside singing through the broken shutters like a chorus of blessing. In the county courthouse, Vanessa pled guilty. Her sentence included restitution for all damage done, including repair of the cabin and support for the orphanage Noah funded. She looked at Ivy, and Noah threw bars with regret. Vanessa's heart was frozen by envy, Ivy thought. But love, true, patient love, melts every barrier. May you, dear listener, remember that love transcends every storm, heals every wound, and finds truth where lies once lived. Even when betrayal seems insurmountable, forgiveness opens the door to redemption. Did this story touch your heart? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that stir the soul. Until next time, may your own storms lead you to unexpected truths and to the love you deserve.